In your work, what's the hardest thing you had to convince women when it comes to, things like hormones and...
I would say there are two things. The one is the hymen and the
Mm,
existence of the hymen and the importance or non-importance of the hymen in
right.
virginity.
Hmm.
How virginity testing shouldn't be done anymore. How, as doctors, we cannot tell if a woman is still a virgin or not based on the hymen. And there are multiple studies that show that, and I'm not talking on the top of my head. And I'm really, and there are scientific evidence that hymen cannot be checked for virginity. So this is this is, I think, the most difficult part I have, because some patients, they come to me and they say, I want to check my hymen
For
because
for
I went on a bike trip
hmm
or
for
I
our
went on a
viewers.
horse. Hey, they want to check if there is a tear.
Oh, okay. Here, let's before we go on to that tangent, would you like to explain what the hymen is for our viewers who
So the
might not
hymen,
know?
so it's a small skin at the entrance of the vagina.
Hmm.
It's actually an embryological remnant that is here, that is much thicker in kids and then gets thinner with time. It's initially it's done to prevent dirt and anything to get inside the vagina of little girls, and it has been for years, and probably hundreds or thousands of years, thought to be intact for a virgin woman and torn when the person already had intercourse. So
Okay.
it's been used as a test for virginity
But as me and you know, it
for
can...
100 years.
Yeah, so but me and you know that it doesn't necessarily have to be intercourse that tears or breaks the hymen seal, right? Like it can be something as simple as horse riding or bicycle
Yeah,
riding
exactly.
that can
Yeah, and the hymen
eventually...
can be broken by 100 things.
And unfortunately, what we know is just one thing, and this can lead to like in the future a lot of issues and troubles that, but all stems down from one simple fact that isn't genuine or like generally known. So it's interesting you say that. But is there no way to prove like the virginity of a girl? Can you not do like a pap smear or something that sees if there's any other cells, foreign cells, let's say?
No,
No?
no, we can't.
Because from what I heard in
Unless she
this,
had, intercourse yesterday. But
like
if
very
she had,
recent.
I mean, if the hymen was torn by a tampon, or if it was torn by a horseback riding, or if it was torn by intercourse and it's been months ago, there's no way to know if if she's a virgin from the hymen. Virginity is based on sexual intercourse. The hymen can be torn by a million other things.
Hmm.
So we cannot correlate both. And you have studies that show when you show, sorry, prostitute women to two different doctors, some doctors used to say she's a virgin, and some doctors used to say she's not. And they are prostitutes, so we know that they are having sex. So there are
Hmm.
so many. You cannot test the hymen for virginity. This
Hmm.
is a reported. This is a published case, and you have other cases where we have patients that got pregnant and delivered and were also checked by doctors for virginity, and have the doctors got it wrong. So obviously, the hymen should not be considered as a sign of virginity. Virginity is about sexual intercourse. If it was torn by a bicycle, obviously you don't have sex with your bicycle, so you're still a virgin, even if your hymen is torn. You have different kinds of hymen. You can have a thick hymen, you can have a thin hymen, you can have a redundant hymen. You can be born without a hymen. So the hymen should not be a characteristic of virginity.
Hmm.
And this is the most difficult concept I've been trying to put in my patient's head when they come in and they say, I want to check my hymen to see if I'm a virgin.
Hmm. And unfortunately, like it's not really the factor or the established thing that we can see to check if they are
Did I
or they
convince
are
you
not.
at least?
No, no, I am already convinced with this because I studied this, right? So like I'm already convinced with this, but the whole like, how do I say this? The goal of this podcast is to educate and spread awareness to those who may not know. And unfortunately, this is a huge amount. Like, we're not talking about a minority that doesn't know. It's the majority that doesn't know. And this is where this topic is very serious and very, it's a delicate
Majority,
topic.
of course, it's the
Yeah,
majority.
this is why I'm doing this now. This is why we reached out to you in the first place, because in our podcast, we try to talk about things that people usually don't talk about. And unfortunately, and I really mean this, unfortunately, this isn't generally talked about. So